Big Ten Media Days, Northwestern head coach Pat Fitzgerald said, quote, "I believe there is no more unified football program in the whole country," end quote, referencing the effect of all the hoopla surrounding the unionization of student athletes and his Wildcats program. He says they've never been more unified, but what is the buzz from the outside looking in? Hello, everyone. I am Shay Pepler here inside our Campus Insider studios, and I am joined by our Northwestern insider, the voice of the Wildcats, Dave Eanet. And Dave, you are there in Evanston day in and day out. What has been the effect of the unionization of student athletes there in Evanston?
Well, there has certainly been no more publicized team in the country this offseason than Northwestern, but I do think they're unified. I think it was a situation which could have really split a team, but during spring ball, when this thing was still looming, that was prior to the vote on whether to unionize or not, prior to the ruling, that they were going about their business, just concentrating on football. I think we'll get the real answer when they tee it up August 30th against Cal.
Of course. Well, switching the focus now to individuals on this team. Let's talk about receiver Kyle Prater. He had a ton of hype entering last season, but really didn't live up to it. So what have you seen from his offseason this year that's promising?
Well, it's really been a couple of years. He's been hampered a bit by injuries since he transferred from USC, but he had a terrific spring. The coaching staff is raving about Prater. Obviously, he brings great size and came out with a great pedigree when he came out of high school in the Chicago area. The question is, will he be able to get enough reps in this receiving corps? Because it's a very deep, very talented group of receivers, so he's going to have to earn his playing time.
Let's talk about the quarterback now. They're moving away from that two-quarterback system that Fitz has run the last couple of years. Trevor Siemian now, the solidified starter. Coach Fitz says he's really stepped up and taken ownership over this team, but what have you seen?
Well, I think it's his job now, and it's really the first time since Dan Persa, who holds the NCAA career completion percentage record, was the starting quarterback for the Wildcats, that they've had one guy, and Siemian is a senior. He's played a lot of football, partly because he shared time with Kane Coulter, and partly because Coulter had to deal with some injuries last year. Siemian's a guy who has performed very well in the clutch, and I think he's really taken the job and run with it now. He's also taken a real leadership role with his team.
Focusing on the big picture now. 5 wins last year, but 10 the year before that. So what's the mindset of this football team heading into 2014?
Well, I think a couple things to keep in mind. Remember, they were 4-0 last year. Then they were maybe inches away against Ohio State. If they convert on 4th down, they're probably going to go in and score it. I don't know that Ohio State would have gone back down and scored at the other end, but that seemed to change their whole season. They lost 7 in a row. But 3 of those losses, keep in mind, were with triple zeros on the clock. A couple of overtime losses, the Hail Mary at Nebraska. So they were that close to at least those 3 additional wins and maybe some more. I think this is a team that'll have a nice bounce back year, but the key obviously is getting off to the kind of start. It won't be easy with Cal and Northern Illinois in their first 2 games.
Of course, just getting over that hump, right,
Yes.
Dave? All right, well, thanks so much for the insight. We always appreciate it. And great to have you in studio.
Thank you, Shay.
And for more surrounding Big Ten football, the Northwestern Wildcats, and some selfies, yes, with Trevor Siemian, be sure to keep it locked right here on CampusInsiders.com.